awesome game there for the Houston Rockets. And as far as Utah is concerned, not an awesome game. Donovan Mitchell, 19 points on 18 shots. Tough game there. Rudy Gobert played pretty damn well. 22 points, 12 rebounds. Just took 10 shots. 8 for 10 from the field. 22 points, 12 rebounds. So Gobert really did play well. Had his way a little bit with Capella, although Capella was the more athletic player. But Jay Crowder, 9 points on 1 for 9 shooting, 1 for 7 from downtown. You got to even wonder how he got all those free throws in. Pretty tough game there. Rubio, 15 points, not bad. Joe Ingles, just 3 points in 32 minutes. Tough game for the Utah Jazz. Almost everybody on their team got in the game, just because it was mainly garbage time after about the third quarter there for Houston. And Houston takes the 1-0 lead. Ooh. All right, let's move to Monday's games. We got 2 games on Monday. We got 3 games yesterday. We're going to get those taken care of real quick, and then we'll get into the shit for tonight. All right, in the first game, the 76ers don't take no shit this time in Game 2. Simmons has a trip dub, finishes with 18 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. And the 76ers correct Game 1 and win 145 to 123. Talk about scoring some fucking points, huh? Ben Simmons, 8 for 12 from the field with the triple-double. Damn, that's a good one for him. Joel Embiid, limited minutes in this one, just 21 minutes. And the knee is still hurting him, but he finishes with 23 points and 10 rebounds. I mean, he's giving you more points than minutes. Obviously, it'd be good if he could give you like 30-something minutes, but Jesus, I mean, that's pretty damn good there for JoJo. Tobias Harris bounces back with 19 points. Jimmy Butler bounces back the other way with just 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting. J.J. Redick makes a couple threes and finishes with 17 in the win. Boban still playing well. A lot of people thought that Boban would be a defensive liability more so than anything in the playoffs. He finishes with 16 points and 8 boards off the bench as the replacement, major replacement. I mean, Bolden too, but the major replacement for JoJo. In the loss, not a ton of good things. Dinwiddie gives you 19 points, but it takes him 16 shots to get there at the bench. 23 minutes for him. The person who played the most minutes on the team, actually, was Trevon Graham off the bench. 26 minutes for him. He gives you just 5 points, but some good defense there. LeVert with 13 points on 8 shots. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson with 15 points on 10 shots. He actually played pretty good. Shabazz Napier with 13. All that in garbage minutes, though. As far as what the real players that were playing, at least to start the game, D'Angelo Russell, 16 points, 16 shots. Gives you 2 assists. Nothing too impressive there. No player more than 6 rebounds, Jared Allen. No player with more than 4 assists, also Jared Allen. Tough game in this one for Brooklyn, where, I mean, Philly puts up 145. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I mean, Boban would have been the second leading scorer on Brooklyn that game. So would Redick. Harris scored more than that. Ben Embiid would have been the leading scorer. Just a big game for the Philadelphia 76ers. And they get an easy one to tie the series up. All right, back to the Bay we go, where this one was bad for the Warriors, finally. The Warriors, the Clippers set an NBA record by the biggest deficit to come back and get a win. They were down by 31 points early in the third quarter. The Clippers come back, outscore the Warriors by 9 in the third, scoring 44 points. They actually scored 85 points in the second half. And then outscore by 18 in the fourth quarter. And the Clippers, on the road, beat the Warriors 135 to 131. Now the Warriors are the only team to blow a 3-1 NBA Finals lead, and they have also blown the biggest lead ever in an NBA playoff game. Kind of random there for a team that has won, 3 of the last 4 championships, or 5 maybe, even about to win their 4th out of 5th or some shit like that. But a tough loss at home for Golden State. Lou Williams, 36 points in 33 minutes, 13 for 22 from the field. He's the best player in the game for the Clippers. And how about their other bench stud? Montrezl Harrell, 9 for 9 from the field, doesn't miss a shot, 25 points and 10 rebounds on 9 for 9 shooting for Montrezl Harrell in that comeback. I mean, that is fucking impressive. 25 points on 9 shots is ridiculous. Danilo Gallinari also plays pretty well. 24 points for his ass. 8 for 17 shooting. Overall, big win. Big win for the Clippers. The sad news here, DeMarcus Cousins plays 4 minutes. It's kind of what we started the show with. Tore his left quad, played 4 minutes, finished with 2 points, made a couple of free throws, 0 for 1 from the field. Obviously, they're going to be without him for the remainder of the postseason. Andre Iguodala picked up 26 minutes, in this one. Didn't shoot well, but he ended up filling in the minutes that I was kind of saying. They also have Andrew Bogut, who played with them 2 seasons ago during their second championship, the year after their 73-win season. But yeah, a tough game there. And tough news for the Warriors in general. Steph Curry leads the way, 29 points for them, 5 for 11 from downtown, not good enough. Kevin Durant, 21 points on 8 shots. How about that? Same thing as Montrez almost. A little bit worse, but goddamn. 21 points on 8 shots. I did see that 8 shots was the second fewest he's ever taken in a playoff game. And that there was maybe a little bit of turmoil about that or over that, a little bit of strife because of what was going on as far as that was concerned, whether or not he was getting enough touches. For example, Draymond took 1 more shot than he did, and Quinn Cook took almost as many shots. Livingston, Kevon Looney took almost as many shots. Iguodala. So I'm not entirely sure. I think that he might have been passive-aggressive in that game, like he was kind of trying to prove a point possibly, but it ended up backfiring. He played well, obviously, 21 points on 8 shots, but it didn't work out for the team. Also, Clay gives you 17 points on 11 shots, good game for him, and Draymond Green, 14 points and 9 assists in the loss, though. All right, that's the end of Monday. Let's get back to yesterday's games. The first motherfucking game of the day. The Toronto Raptors rebound easily in this one. Kawhi Leonard, 37 points. Wah. He had a great game 1, too, honestly. It wasn't just, It wasn't just, he wasn't the reason they lost game 1. He played really, really well. Pascal Siakam played really well. Kyle Lowry sucked. That wasn't the case last night, though. Kawhi Leonard, 37 points, 4 for 8 from downtown on 33, but really didn't play that much. Kyle Lowry bounces back, 13 shots taken, 8 of them go in this time. He finishes with 22 points and 7 assists in 38 minutes, actually plays more minutes than anybody on the team, anybody on either team. Mark that. The Toronto Raptors beat the Magic 111-82 to tie the series at 1 game apiece. Pascal Siakam, another good game, 19 points and 10 rebounds for him on 8 for 16 shooting. Decent shooting. He needs to get to the line and make more free throws. He needs to be getting more than 9, and just 1 assist, too. I think they really play. I mean, he had less assists than Danny Green. I mean, I think that they really play well when they use him as a point guard, honestly, which kind of negates the need for Kyle Lowry, and that's mainly when they did it later in the season when Kyle Lowry wasn't really playing at certain times. That's mainly when they used Point Siakam. But I think that they're a better team when they do that. Moving forward, I would like, as long as they keep Kawhi, moving forward, I think that would be something interesting to look out for. Marc Gasol continued. He started, played 22 minutes, so realistically, he split the minutes. Serge Ibaka played 24. But he is providing basically the type of value that you thought he would when he got traded here. 9 points, not a ton of points, but 3 for 5 shooting. 3 for 4 from downtown, which is even more important. And then he adds 5 assists in there, 3 rebounds. He's not a heavy rebound guy, but Pascal kind of takes care of that. But he does give you the second most assists on the team for the game, behind Kyle Lowry. And that's just in 22 minutes. That's in half as much time. Realistically, Marc Gasol is probably only barely less effective than Nikola Jokic has been, honestly. I mean, if you really look at it. I mean, what they provide is very similar. I mean, Jokic obviously has a higher upside in every statistical category, especially points. But, 9 points, 5 assists, 3. I mean, if he played 30-something minutes, I mean, we're talking about 15 points, 9 assists, 7 or 8 rebounds, kind of just a slightly worse version of that. So Marc Gasol has really been a big addition. As I was talking about earlier, too, Serge Ibaka, he actually played 24 minutes at the center position. 4 for 8, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 1 for 2 from downtown, so he's also making threes. You got to like where Toronto's at, even though they lost that first game at home. Orlando was one of the hottest teams in the NBA since January. I think they have the second best record in the NBA, February, March, and April. So they're actually a good team. They play good defense. They're big. They have a lot of guys who can score. It was a rough first loss, especially for Kyle Lowry. But I feel really good about Toronto moving forward. This is a big win. They win by 29 points here at home. As far as Orlando is concerned, Aaron Gordon plays pretty well. 20 points for him, 3 for 5 from downtown, 8 for 12 overall. Good shooting performance from him. T. Ross, the Human Torch, off the bench, 3 3-pointers, 15 points in 27 minutes for him. Other than that, the only player in double figures is Evan Fournier. And it took him 12 shots to get 10 points in 32 minutes. Tough shooting game there. Again, almost everybody on the roster played for Orlando. Fultz is technically on the roster. He obviously has never played for him. Mo Bamba is injured. Timothy Mozgov, I believe, is also injured. So they're technically on the playoff roster. But everybody that was on the bench and suited up to play played for Orlando. And nobody really performed very well, honestly. Tough loss there for not even a tough loss, honestly, because they've taken the home court advantage away. The Raptors tie the series 1-1, and now go to Orlando as still the definitive favorite in the game or in the series. But as far as Orlando is concerned, at least they won one of the two in Toronto, and now they have the home court advantage. What the fuck just happened? All right, sorry about that, everybody. My computer looked like it shut off there for a second, so we could probably have about a minute of silence there, or maybe a little less, maybe like 30 or 45 seconds of silence. Sorry about that. Just really confusing. I was about to be pretty upset. But yeah, sorry about that. Just kind of fast forward to that shit if you want. Strange computer issues. Don't like seeing it, though. Definitely don't like seeing that shit. Where were we? All right, yeah, moving on to the second game of last night. This was a big win for the home team. The Denver Nuggets outscore the Spurs by 19 points in the second half, down by 10 at halftime. They come back to win 114-105 over the San Antonio Spurs, who were looking, honestly, until the fourth quarter, like they were one of the best teams in the playoffs. How about Jamal Murray in that one? He actually missed his first 8 shots of the game. Didn't make a shot until the fourth quarter, and then went 8 for 9 in the fourth quarter. Now, how many of them were threes? Let me check real quick. Only 2 for 3 were threes, but went 8 for 9 overall shooting in the fourth quarter, and they outscored the Spurs 39-23 in the fourth quarter. They win 114-105. Jamal Murray finishes with 24 points. I mean, after 0 for 8 to finish 8 for 17, just under 50%, 2 for 3 from downtown, and 24 points, and get the victory. Huge, ballsy performance from Jamal Murray. You add to that 23 points, 3 3-pointers from Gary Harris. Jokic in the scoring